Alright folks, buckle up, because this case is about to get intense. We're looking at State versus Paul Anthony Ramirez, a defendant with a history of drug possession who's now accused of breaking his probation. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, not exactly. What you're about to see is a courtroom battle that raises bigger questions. Is this a man who never had a fair chance at life, or someone who keeps choosing the wrong path? Stick with me, because there are some jaw-dropping twists coming up, like new charges, wild explanations, and even tattoos that catch the judge's attention. Let's dive in.
The court is calling 2024 CR 009393, State versus Paul Anthony Ramirez.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Paul Anthony Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on this case, could I have the original motion to revoke?
Yeah.
I only have the first amended. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Mr. Ramirez, did you review the motion to revoke community supervision and first amended motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Paul Anthony Ramirez who was placed on community supervision in 2024 CR 009393 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4,200 grams on October 31st, 2024 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, state.
Violation of condition number 4 in Medina County, Texas, the defendant Paul Anthony Ramirez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April, May, and June 2025 in violation of condition number 4.
And there it is, the defendant pleads truce to violating probation. For those who aren't familiar, that's basically admitting he didn't follow the rules set by the court. Now, when someone admits to violating probation, the judge has the power to revoke it and send them straight to prison. So my question to you is, why plead true so quickly? Was it honesty, strategy, or maybe he knows the evidence is stacked against him? What do you think? Would you admit guilt this early on if your freedom was on the line?
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
No
Any
objection.
objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 4 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Is to grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's community supervision, reform his judgment to a sentence of 3 years in prison. And the state is going to take into consideration cause number 2025 PF 31486 and 2025 PF 31487.
All right, and what are those allegations in those?
It's an unauthorized use, judge, and a possession condition.
All right. So what has he done on probation other than pick up new cases?
Your Honor, the times that he had missed, and it's, we have waived, those of allegations obviously have been waived, but if the court looks at the MTR, he was in Medina County for another offense.
All right.
Fundamental.
So was he ever released while he was on probation?
Notice what just happened. The judge is piecing together a pattern, missed check-ins, new charges, and an arrest in another county. This isn't just a slip-up. It paints the picture of someone spiraling deeper into trouble. Judges look at behavior over time, not just one mistake. So, when the prosecution starts talking about unauthorized use and a new possession charge, it makes the defense's job way harder. Quick thought for you, if someone repeatedly breaks probation, should they be given more chances to reform, or is prison the only realistic outcome? Let me know what you'd argue if you were in that judge's chair.
You did report some of
Yes,
this, correct?
Do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Paul Anthony Ramirez.
All right, so what have you done other than it's alleged that you picked up 2 new cases?
I reported like 3 or 4 times. I paid those times that I did go report.
All right, so you've reported 3 or 4 times since October 2024.
Whenever I was released from here, I reported like 3 times, three times.
So why are you only reporting 3 times?
Because after that, I was in Medina County.
And in custody in Medina County for what?
Unauthorized use.
All right, and is that an unauthorized use that's alleged to have been committed after he was placed on probation?
My understanding is yes, Your Honor, but out of an abundance of caution, would just simply ask the court, or if we have the summary here, I'd like to, just take a look at the dates just to make sure, but I am pretty sure it was after.
Yes, sir.
That was after the new charge after you got released.
Yes, sir.
So then here's my question for you.
Here comes a crucial moment. The judge is about to challenge the defendant directly, and this is where courtroom drama really shines. It's not just about laws, it's about accountability. The judge basically says, you missed probation, picked up new charges, and only reported 3 times, so why should I cut you a break? That's the question we all need to sit with. Is his past, like going to prison at 14, enough to explain his present, or is it just another excuse? Big question here. Do you think early incarceration creates lifelong offenders, or should people still be held fully responsible for their choices as adults?
Why should I give you less than what you bargained for when the only thing you've done is report 3 times and you picked up a new case, you ended up in Medina County, and then you have 2 new charges here that the state is taking in consideration? And I'm assuming those 2 new charges, was that after he was placed on probation?
Yes, Your Honor, they were called this.
So why?
Well, these cases didn't have nothing to do with me as far as the unauthorized use.
Okay.
How it all happened is, if you look into it, but
And what were Your Honor, on the unauthorized use here? Basically, he was with well, I would think that the evidence would suggest, I don't want to put words in their mouth, the evidence would suggest that the actual taking of the vehicle was by another young lady in Corpus Christi that he had an engagement with here in Medina County that may or may not have involved provable possession of illicit substances, Judge. But it's not, but in no way are we trying to represent to the court that it's acceptable behavior as we're on while he's on probation. We would ask the court to, though, give some consideration, even though we've been here before. This is a young man who's basically been raised in prison. He went to prison for the first time at, I believe, 14. He had some issues with his decision-making, Judge, but with the underlying sentence of 4, we think, well, that's a plea bargain process, and so we think the 3 would be fair, but we would yield to the court on that. The other thing that could be done at this time, if he didn't have the cases pending in Medina County, I will say the first thing that came out of his mouth is that he needs help with his, would you agree? Help with I'll let you complete my sentence.
with that, Judge,
Well,
I really do need. Yes,
Okay, good.
I really need help with the substance abuse. That's the whole point of it. I'd rather have take the 3 years of TDC just to, overall, I think it'll help me out than to just go out and do the program, whatever it is.
But I mean, you were given a chance when I placed you on probation to get it together, right?
The problem is the drug problem. I was still.
Oh, no, you could have came here and I would have said, okay, let's take care of your drug issue. Let's give you whatever help you need with drug issues. But you didn't reach out to your probation officer. You didn't reach out to the court. You reached out to take a ride with somebody in a stolen vehicle. And the last time I saw you, did you have the teardrops or is that something new?
No, same thing,
All right. And then the crown,
all the same,
and then the Playboy bunny,
everything,
and then the dollar sign.
it's all old,
How old are you?
28.
All right, you're 28 years old.
Wow, this is one of those rare courtroom moments where things get personal. The judge points out the defendant's age and prison history and then drops a truth bomb. At some point, your actions are your own. That's powerful. Judges often walk this fine line between empathy and accountability. Sure, the system might have failed him as a teenager, but as an adult, he's the one making choices. And let's be real, riding in a stolen car while on probation doesn't exactly scream rehabilitation. Let me ask you, do you think the judge is being too tough here, or finally giving some much needed tough love?
And you went to prison when you were 14, you know, TYC, that's what we would call it.
TDC.
Is somebody sending somebody to TDC at 14?
I think
Medina
Your
County,
Honor,
right?
given.
No, I mean, you start out in TYC. They're not sending 14 years old to prison. Then once you become of age, then they will send you to prison. So I can see you.
I was sentenced at 14, then 15, I was in TDC, the Clemens unit, YP. From all the way till I was 21.
Well, is somebody going to sue Texas for sending a 15-year-old to prison?
Your Honor, I
Well, I
will.
mean, I'm always interested in learning new law. There are a lot of defense attorneys in here. Do they send people in Texas to adult prison when they're 15?
Your Honor, I think that just at sometimes, okay, and again, not to contradict what he's saying, but I think sometimes it just kind of blurs and runs in together when you've been in since you're 14.
Well, let me just tell you this.
I can tell you this, there's so
Any legal advice, but if you were sent to prison at 15, somebody needs to file a suit, although the statute of limitations may have ran since you're 28. But this is what I can tell you.
and for the record, Your Honor, obviously, I did not represent him.
No, I appreciate that.
For people in,
This is what I can tell you. At some point, your actions are your own. You can't keep blaming your actions on the fact that you went to TYC at 14. You got to change your life. All right. I'm going to follow the agreement that you worked out based upon what your attorney is saying and what the state is saying with regards to the unauthorized use. I guess that's what we do since the time of Adam and Eve. We still blame the woman for our own actions. So, are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to request the therapeutic community. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors, no residing with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. When you're released from custody, if you can't find somebody to help you get on the straight and narrow, if I'm still here, you can come back here. I'll find an inpatient treatment facility for you. Now, let me just explain to you the reason why I'm saying no unsupervised contact with minors and no residing with minors is because you really shouldn't be around minors because you'd be a bad influence. And until you get your life together, that's the way it should be. And a lot of women will see you when you come out of prison, and they're going to see somebody who's a good catch.
Yes, ma'am.
And there we have it, the final ruling. 3 years in prison with credit for time served, plus a strong recommendation for substance abuse treatment. The judge makes it clear, no more excuses, no more blaming the past. This isn't just about punishment, it's about forcing a reset. What's striking here is how the judge balances accountability with a glimmer of hope, even offering treatment options for the future. But the bigger question is, will Ramirez actually change, or is this just another chapter in a long cycle? If you found this case as shocking and thought-provoking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns where we cut through the drama and get to the truth.
And we can't have that until you get your life together, okay? All right, good luck to you, all right? Oh, and I'm so sorry. Can we go back on the record? Court is going to take in consideration 2025 PF 31487 and 2025 PF 31486. And if you could hold him for a moment so he can get a copy of this, please. Yeah, thank you. And I don't know if you all have a case number for Medina County. I know.
I
Okay.
believe they were listed on the NPR judge. So,
Well, if you all have that and you bring that number back to me, I'll make sure that this runs concurrently with that.
okay, I'll get that for you, Judge.
All right, thank you.